Hello, a very good morning, or perhaps a good afternoon, or in fact, a good evening to you joining this recorded webinar today. My name is Stephen Ogden, and I am the Academic Director for Unlimited Educational Services based here in Istanbul. I think on the slide there you can see a slightly older looking photo of me taken a few years ago. So today we're going to be looking at the hands-on series, a brand new pre-primary series published by Richmond ELT Publishing. You'll also see on the opening slide here, I've given you my email address, so stephen.ogden@eltturkey.com. I've given you my email address here, just in case you have any questions or queries following on from this recorded webinar. If you do have, please do send me an email and I'll look forward to replying to you there. So today we're going to be looking at hands-on, as I said, and I'm going to be giving you quite a lot of information based on the series and how it's going to be used there at Bahçeşehir. So I think it's possibly advisable for you to take some notes as we move through the presentation for ease of reference later on. But as we know, this is a recorded webinar, so please feel free to stop and start at any point during the presentation to take some notes. So the agenda for today then, we're primarily going to be looking at 5 things. So we're going to be looking at the hands-on approach, so the methodology and the pedagogy behind the series. We will then look how hands-on is going to be used in pre-primary, age 4-year-olds there at Bahçeşehir schools. After that, we will look at some of the key stages of hands-on, which ultimately leads towards a final project at the end of each level. And then we'll look very briefly at the teacher's materials, the teacher's notes that support hands-on, as well as the additional and supplementary digital resources that you're free and able to use in your own classrooms. So hands-on then. Hands-on is a new series written and published for the pre-primary grades, and it's a project-based course which is focused on learning remedial cross-curricular content such as social studies material, such as early math material, early science material, and it's this content that then helps learners to hopefully solve tasks while not only developing their own English language skills, but also their social and emotional values. Hands-on is, as it says, a very hands-on course. So we believe that this course strength is learners learning by doing. And then also learners will take action based on the content and the things that they discover and learn to ultimately solve a final challenge at the end of each level. The series looks to develop learners' early thinking skills and thinking routines, as well as building students' creativity. And also the series hopes to foster cooperative or group learning as well as their own emotional intelligence. And at the end of each level, there is a self-evaluation section for our young learners to reflect on the work that they've done throughout each level. So this is pretty much hands-on. Each level of hands-on is organized in 3 key stages. So at the beginning of each level, students will first discover the topic and initial language based around the topic, and then most of what students will see in their project books is the learn section. This is a holistic approach where we take a topic such as hands-on level 1 here, let's make a body, and we investigate all aspects of this for learners. And then lastly, each level leads towards a final make section where they apply the knowledge that they've learnt and acquired in each level, and they put this towards a final project. On the back of every page in the project book, we have the following section. So this is an example page 11 here, taken from level 1. And you can see on the back of the page, we have a Let's Talk section. These are really prompts for you as teachers, really. And students are not under any pressure to create full sentences at this time in their learning. It could be more to develop their receptive understanding. But if we can push and encourage students to reply to these, then we shouldn't expect complete sentences here, certainly not at the beginning of the process. But we have put example questions and answers in the Let's Talk section. Below that, you can see a keyword section, a illustrative keyword area, where every keyword which is focused on the page or in each level has an illustration to accompany it. And we hope when students get used to seeing these illustrations that will help them to not only understand the word, but to be able to reproduce it as well. Also on the back of some pages is a Let's Sing section. There are 2 songs per level in hands-on, one on the opening page and one about halfway through. And then on some pages, there are additional stickers or press outs for various project work, and these are also on the bottom of the page in the bottom right hand corner. The stickers and the press outs can be found at the back of the Learner's Project book. Also on the left here, you can see it says page 11. Below page 11 there are the instructions for each page, for each task. So on this particular page here, students need to look at the press outs and they need to identify what they can see, such as a mouth, eyes and a nose. And then learners are invited to glue these press outs into their project books in the right positions on the face given. So this is what we can see on the back of every page in the project book. So as I said, students go through 3 sections. They first discover initial content based around the topic. They then learn extra content, and then hopefully they apply this learnt content into a challenge, which is the make section towards the end of each level. This particular challenge in hands-on level 1, Let's Make a Body, is looking to really build learners' self-esteem. So yes, they will learn the various body parts. They will learn how the body is put together. They will learn how the body can move, as well as learning about the daily or routines or healthy habits that we can do to look after not only our bodies but also our mind. And then finally they will learn how to assemble and then clothe their own example body in the project pages. All the way through hands-on, you'll notice on every page in the project book, in the top right hand corner, you can see I've circled it in blue here. There is an icon showing what kind of task is expected of learners on the page. So if you can look at the one on the left hand side here, the look and find page, this is the opening page in every level. They all begin with the same, with a large illustration, and students have to identify key words and circle them with a correct crayon. Every page has an icon, but on some pages, not all of them, you might see 2 icons together. So on the page on the right hand side here, food art, you can see there are 2 icons. So firstly, there is a pencil where students are invited to either draw or to trace. And then secondly, they are invited to color their drawing using crayons. There is a key for these icons that you can find in the teacher's notes. Here you can see the 7 icons here, ranging from color to draw and trace, to stick, to glue, to cut, to paint, and then to finally make in the project pages towards the end. So these icons have been put on every page to give not only you but also your learners an understanding of what's expected of them in each activity in the project book. So how does hands-on work in the pre-primary age 4 grade at Boucher Shahir schools? As you know, Boucher Shahir schools use a theme-based program in pre-primary, and they use 4 themes per academic year, and each theme is lasting 8 weeks. So 8 weeks per theme multiplied by 4 themes is a 32-week academic program. So for each theme, in the extension material which is being used, and hands-on is the extension material, there is 1 project book per theme. So in theme 1 there at Boucher Shahir, My Body and Me, you'll be using hands-on level 1, which is Let's Make a Body. In the second theme there in there at Boucher Shahir is My Colourful World. So here you will be using hands-on level 2, Let's Cook. Now Let's Cook not only introduces language related to cooking, but also consolidates the relationship between food and colours. So throughout hands-on level 2, Let's Cook, you will see various pages which are consolidating, which are giving learners the opportunity to practice their understanding of various colours and how they are related to different food. Here is an example of hands-on level 2 Let's Cook. This page here on food art is asking learners to identify not only shapes and colours, but perhaps even textures of different food items. Here is another example in hands-on level 2, colourful food, where at the bottom of the page, students are given a small key for various fruits and vegetables, apple, banana, tomato and carrots, and they have to apply the colours of these items, and then they have to colour the food items on the work surface there in the illustration. One more example on this particular page here, which is which. We're not only focusing on colour here, but also on some detail at this age group. So here learners have to choose the correct item from the 4 options given. And you can see the pencil in the top corner, so this is a circling task with a pencil. So in hands-on level 2, Let's Cook, we do investigate colours through different food items. In theme 3, there at Barchester, transportation, you'll be using hands-on level 3, which is Let's Make a Vehicle. And here on the page, as with the others, you can see a copy of the student's project book, as well as the cover of the teacher's notes. And then finally, in theme 4, Living Things, there at Barchester, you'll be using hands-on level 4, Let's Look After Animals. This level of hands-on will be available to you in January of next year. And as soon as they arrive with us, Richmond ELT Publishing are still working on this level. As soon as it arrives here, we'll make sure that not only you, but your learners get their copies of this. Just on that, we have created a small short letter for parents, just to inform them of the hands-on series, as well as to remind them that level 4 will be available and be given and provided to them in January next year. This letter will be in the students' pack with levels hands-on 1, 2 and 3. So if you do get any questions from parents about where hands-on level 4 is, I will be grateful if you can just pass on the message that this will be available from January 2020. So let's take a look at the key features or the stages of each hands-on level, and we'll do that by looking at hands-on level 1, Let's Make a Body. So as mentioned, each level follows the same 3 stages of the process. Firstly, students discover for themselves, and here on the page you can see the example pages that students will see. So on the left-hand side, in the Look and Find section, students here are expected to study the illustration and to find the people at the top there in the key. And then they are expected to circle the people using the appropriate crayon. On the second page, Find Out here, students are looking at 6 photographs of children, and the students just need to identify in which pictures are the students moving or are they still. So these pages at the beginning are the Discover pages, where students start discovering ideas for themselves. After those opening pages, we move on to the Learn pages. And the Learn pages take up 80% of each level of hands-on. And in the Learn pages, there's a variety of different tasks and activities that students are expected to complete. Here you can see two examples here. On the left, the parts of the body. So learners are invited to match the parts of the body ranging from the head down through to the back, the arm, and then lastly the bottom. On the page on the right hand side, Monster Fun, students take this understanding of the parts of the body, and then now they're expected to look at the illustration of the monster and to trace the numbers 1 to 4, and then to write the number of heads in the box, to write the number of arms and the number of legs. But of course, learners at this age are still mastering how to correctly hold a pencil, so you may need to support your learners with taking those first steps in tracing numbers or shapes for them. And in fact, you may need to sit with students and write the numbers in the boxes yourselves if they're unable to do that at this stage. Here are a couple more example pages from the Learn part of the course. So here, the page on the left, Who is Who? Students are expected to look at the three people in the columns on the left-hand side and identify the same person from the four options. And then in this activity, they will circle the same person. On the following page, My Hair, here learners will look at the four photos of the four children. They will colour the little splodge in the same colour as the children's hair. And then at the bottom of the same page, in the My Hair box there, students will then colour the splodge in the same colour as their own hair. A few more here. So on the page on the left, this is an exercise based around their senses. And here, this is a sticker task. So students will be required to put the correct sticker into the correct circle, which shows which of the 5 senses is being used in the photograph. And then the emotions page on the right here is firstly teaching the words happy, sad, and angry. And then learners will follow a system here of putting the happy, sad, and angry stickers into the correct order. So the first one here will be happy, sad, happy, sad, happy, sad. And these stickers can be found at the back of the students' project books. Very quickly, 2 more on the Learn section. So here we're extending the idea of their own bodies, and we're looking at the healthy habits that we do as people to maintain a healthy body. So here students are simply asked to trace a line from the character to the healthy habits. On the right hand side here, I wear. This is where students are linking or connecting an image of different weather conditions to the type of clothing that is expected that we should be wearing in that weather condition. And then finally, the final stage in the process, after they've discovered and they've learnt for themselves, then it's about the project and making. In the project at the end, we would like students to work in teams to develop their cooperative learning. So here on the page, first the students in their own self-selected groups or groups selected by you as the teacher, they need to think of their own team name. This could be relatively simple, something like sun, star, or you could even give them body parts as team names. And then perhaps with your help, we then need to write the names of the students within each team. And then ideally, it will be great if we can get students to put their own individual fingerprint into each of the boxes on the page. Just a couple more examples from the Make section here. So before students start creating their own body project, first they have to look at the resources that are provided at the back of the project book, and then they have to firstly count the different body parts, and then they move into the steps to make their own body. So from ordering the body parts, joining the parts together, and then finally dressing the body themselves. Towards the end of each level, there is the self-evaluation page. So here you can see it's divided into two sections. The What Do I Need section should be colored in or ticked when they have those items in hand, for example, the parts, the fasteners, and the accompanying clothes. And then on the right hand side is how their work has been evaluated. So have they ordered the parts? Did they join the parts successfully? And then did they dress the parts? You can see here that there are two illustrations next to this section. We have an illustration of a small face, and then we have another illustration of the same small face but with a larger adult face. So here we will circle, did the student work by themselves, or did they get the help of an adult to complete the task? And then the last page in each level is the My Picture Dictionary. And the My Picture Dictionary is really consolidating and giving learners further practice based around the 20 key words in each level. In the lesson plans, in the teacher's notes, there's a plan for how we go about teaching not only this page but every page in the student's book, and I'll quickly show you that now. So for every level then, you get a printed teacher's notes booklet that we'll be sending to you at your campuses. The hands-on teacher's notes is quite thin. It's about 35-40 pages, but it includes the following. So it discusses more about the pedagogical approach. I've summarized it briefly here, but there's more information in the teacher's notes. And then it looks at how the work is set up, how the work flows from discover to learn to make. And then there's a section on the English that learners need. And then there's a bit more information on the final project and the final challenge for learners. There's information on the sequence of learning, on the syllabus, as well as teachers' resources that you can use in the classroom. There's then information on the project kit to enable learners to do the project at the end. And then we have quite in-depth lesson plans. There's a section on evaluation and assessment, as well as parents' letters in both English and Turkish, and given to you in Word format. We decided to give these to you in Word format so you can adapt or customize these as you wish, perhaps including your school name, the campus, or indeed your own name as well. So I just want to look very briefly at a couple of these things. Here, number 9, lesson plans. every page in the student's project book has a lesson plan page in the teacher's notes. Here on the page, you can see pretty much all the information that you will need. So in the top left-hand corner on the page, you have an image of the student's book page. And then next to that, you have the contents, which highlights what kind of learning is taking place. In this one, we're developing students' visual attention and their oral expression. And then below that, we have the resources that are available to you to supplement learning in the classroom. And then we have the sections which are on the back of the student's book. So we have the Let's Talk section prompts. We also have the Let's Sing section, if there is a song on that particular page, as well as the keyword section. On the right-hand side below the image of the student's book page, you will also see the instructions for each page. And we've bolded a lot of the verbs here, so look at, to circle, to count, etc. And then finally below that, we have a simple but quite effective lesson plan, which deals with warm-up sections, how to develop practicing keyword sections, extra cross-curricular sections, or even extension task sections as well. So these lesson plans can be found in the teacher's notes that we'll be supplying to you. Also, there is some evaluation and assessment in hands-on. Here is an example taken from level 1. This is showing an assessment page, and it's broken down into 3 areas here. So self-awareness and personal autonomy, knowledge of the environment around them, and also their ability to communicate their ideas. In the teacher's notes, you will also see following the assessment page is a 2-page assessment rubric. This should help you to score and to give students their desired marks. And then lastly, the parents' letters. As mentioned, these will be supplied in both English and Turkish in a Word format for you. The hands-on series also comes with some digital resources that you can use in the classroom. These can be referenced. These are also referenced, in the teacher's notes. Here you can see on page 18 and 19 of the teacher's notes in level 1 a list of the teacher's resources. So here you can see the different section of the project book. On the left-hand side, you can see the resource name there in the middle, and then you can see the pages where this resource can be used in the classroom. These resources will be supplied to you in 2 ways. We will send links to you to download, but we will also send USBs as well. When you either open the link or the USB, you will see the hands-on digital resources folder. When you click into the digital resources folder, you can see the levels there. So at the moment we have levels 1, 2 and 3, and we'll be adding level 4 in January. And then when you select the level that you need, for example, level 1, let's make a body digital resources, then the folder opens up and you can see here the pages where the resource can be used, as well as the title of the resource. There's a variety of different resources. There are some video, some animated songs, there's PDFs, there's also worksheets, as well as photo images, etc. So that's pretty much everything for today. We've looked at the methodology, the pedagogy behind the hands-on series. We've looked at how hands-on will be used in pre-primary age 4 there at the Bachar Shahir schools. We've looked at the stages of hands-on from discover at the beginning through to learn and then make. And then we've just briefly touched on the teacher's notes, what's included in the teacher's notes, and then also very quickly the additional digital resources that are available to you. So many thanks to you for watching this recorded webinar. I hope it's been useful to you. Like I said, if you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. I've put my email address here. And for all teachers' materials, for all materials that will be sent to your campuses, if for some reason they haven't arrived with you on time, or you've misplaced them and you need a replacement copy, please contact my colleague at Unlimited Educational Services, my colleague Ebru Hanım. She can be contacted using the email ebru.koch@eltturkey.com. Please do contact Ebru for your materials if they haven't arrived, which they should do. So that's about it. I'd like to thank you again for joining this webinar. I hope it's been useful to you, and I look forward to speaking or meeting with you during the course of this academic year. And in the meantime, I wish you the very best of teaching with hands-on there at the Bachar Shahir schools. Many thanks and best wishes to you all. Goodbye.